This is very dedicated and we appreciate her. Appreciate her and taking steps week after week.
I just want to thank the girls who set up my tent today because I was down scrutinizing at one of the polling stations. If you haven't voted yet, we do have two little cheat sheets if anybody would like one. I just wanted to do an update from Tanya Goff.
Cheers.
Action for Canada is a grassroots, non-profit organization committed to upholding the Canadian Constitution and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We have over 100 chapters nationwide and growing. Tanya Goff, the founder of Action for Canada, began her journey in 2015 in response to the government passing legislation that severely impacted Canadian freedom and democracy. Tanya and the Action for Canada team are working tirelessly nationwide to give the silent majority a voice through effective campaigns by providing resources to educate, equip, empower, and mobilize Canadians to take action and stand up for their rights. Action for Canada has filed legal action in response to the Canadian government's overreach during COVID-19 against the BC and federal government. Resources such as the Notice of Liability against the jab, masks, testing, and of course the travel Notice of Liability that successfully has helped Canadians travel from return from abroad, Mexico, and the US. Action for Canada has also been working for many years to expose the sexual grooming of our children in the education. Some of you may have seen these brochures that Castanet has been publicly showing. Those are the ones that we've been handing out at the schools. So Action for Canada launched a powerful nationwide campaign to remove the United Nations Comprehensive Sexual Education, CSE as it's referred to, resources of pornographic books being made available to minors in schools and public libraries, as well as to prohibit drag queens from having access to our children. We must stop this sexualization of our vulnerable children. Action for Canada call to action campaigns are also having success in helping everyday Canadians who are being bullied, picked on, and coerced in their opinions that differ from Trudeau and the woke mob who feel it has become their place to berate and belittle the awake and aware, the healthy and the free. Rocco Galati is the top constitutional lawyer retained by Action for Canada, and Rocco has been on the front line for decades trying to warn Canadians about the government overreach that has been incrementally destroying our constitutional rights. But that fight reached a whole new level when the federal government unleashed the COVID-19 upon the citizens of this nation. You will be encouraged to know that Rocco has successfully challenged the government mandates. In some instances, this has been accomplished just by filing the cases and not necessarily having to go before the courts to attain these wins. Such as in July of 2020, when Rocco was one of the first lawyers to commence legal action in response to COVID-19 on behalf of Vaccine Choice Canada. It immediately resulted in the Ontario government reversing their mask mandates, although they didn't inform the public. In August of 2021, Rocco filed the statement of claim on behalf of Action for Canada. BC Ferries immediately changed their tune and began to respect the passengers' rights not to mask and did not mandate the Vax Pass. Jennifer Whiteside, BC Minister of Education, also did not mandate school staff to be jabbed. These are significant outcomes. Rocco continued to file actions on behalf of doctors and others, and those filings also resulted in positive outcomes, such as December 13th of 2021 in the case of Turek versus the College of Physicians and Surgeons, CPSO, where Rocco set a precedent and a win for free speech. The court said the CPSO has no business telling our doctors what they can say publicly, right? Are these coincidences? Not a chance. This is a top Canadian constitutional lawyer in action, giving it his all to preserve the future of Canada for our next generations. One of Tanya's greatest missions, along with the Action for Canada team, is to declare that Canada is founded on Judean Christian biblical principles that form our laws and values and provide a system of governance that sets us apart from totalitarianism, extremist, and communist regimes. Because of it, we have the freedom to believe or not to believe. We have the freedom to believe without fear of prosecution, oppression, and even death. Remember, freedom of speech, thought, belief, and right to life, liberty and security of the person are guaranteed. We do not need to beg, barter, or ask for them. These are God-given, inalienable rights, and they're ours for the taking. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless Canada. And if anybody would like to join us Monday, we're going to North Glenmore to hand these out. We've had a super positive reaction from the parents. They are not aware of the SOGI program, and they're very glad to see us out advising them about this.
All right, thanks, Lori. Did she say pornography on the shelves of the elementary schools? Is that what she said? Like, is this still Canada? Like when the heck did that happen, right? How come we don't know about it? And what else don't we know about?
October 15th, 2022, election day coming up. Today.
Well, when doctors and engineers make a mistake, you have regulatory bodies, and when they fail, everything goes out of whack. And so I, as a Sikh, am reaching out to you. Please do not make this about religion. Is the human suffering of a Sikh any different from a human suffering of a Chinese or a Christian? This is about bringing people together, united, and peacefully trying to achieve something in a very quick way. And so my mission is, a couple of weeks ago, I went into a couple of Sikh temples and talked to the leaders there, and they were totally in the blue. They did not know anything of what really is happening. So I've decided to go out and create teams and call it a Sikh Awareness Week, where I have to go out through some articles that I prepared, and I'm working on something, and I need help from a lot of doctors and a lot of volunteers, because these teams have to go into the Sikh temples, groups of 3, and explain with a platform. One person goes upstairs and makes a speech, and we explain to them in simple layman terms that they all understand, because sometimes when doctors speak, I'll be very frank with you, it goes over your head, because their terminology is way beyond what I can even expect. So we have to get down to the level of the average person who's not a doctor, who's not an engineer, who's not a dentist, who's not a lawyer, and explain everything peacefully and calmly so they understand that what really is happening here is a major problem. And if we want a peaceful solution, the people who are given the responsibility, that includes the politicians, have to own up and resign and apologize and say they made a mistake. That could be one option that is available to them now, because when the shit hits the fan, there's going to be anarchy, and I don't want that. I want a peaceful solution, because it seems to me that we are trying, and we're failing, either because we are not coming together, either we want to bring religion, which is actually dividing us. There's one purpose of religion, it doesn't matter what religion it is to unite with God. That's what the term religion means, is to unite with God. I'm united with God, so are you, and God is not Christian, He's not Sikh, and He's not Chinese. He's just God. Thank you very much. If anyone can reach out to me, contact information, I will freely give it out, and let's make it work. I love you guys all. Thank you.
All right. Did you guys know that there's corruption in the engineering field? And Kuldeep's been aware of it since 2000. Maybe it started before he became aware of it. What about in the medical industry? That there's corruption in the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry. Just because we just found out, or in 2000 we found out. I mean,
All right, well, that's a wrap, everybody. Saturday noon in front of City Hall here in Kelowna at Rotary Park. Always a freedom rally get together, usually put on by Clear, the C.L. Clear with thoughts between, and Action for Canada. I am Marcel Irnie. Today is October 15th, 2022. Make sure you get out and vote today for the mayor, council, and SD23 here in the Okanagan. Cheers, guys. Bye. All right, here's one of the voting locations, the Black Box Theater behind the community center, guys. Let's get her done.